have a top-notch video for you. News broke out of the Reggae Boyz camp that a number of players will not be available for the game against Panama at the National Stadium. So today, the big question is, when will we see the Reggae Boyz best 11? Or will we even see it any at all? I'll go into that later on in the show, but before I go any further, check out the link in the description, as always, to the sponsors, Quick Link Shipping, RS Sports Store, and CSA Shop. Also, guys, take a few seconds as well to watch the adverts that pop up during these videos. It contributes to us and to our content and to our development as well as content creators. All right, so now let's get to it. The squad was announced late last evening by Reggae Boyz commentary, and it reads thus. I'll name the 23 players that were outlined on the sheet of paper, after which I'll also mention the ones who were excluded. So some of the guys who were playing in Mexico a few days ago, they will not be available for the game against Panama, and it's somewhat disheartening because we were hoping we'd see everyone together, the best 11 fielded for this game against Panama. And I know a lot of Reggae Boyz fans, they're pumped, they're excited to see Jamaica's best 11 on the field, but they may very well have to wait a bit longer because Sunday afternoon will not be the day that this happens. All right, so the 23-man squad for the game against Panama is as follows: Andre Blake in goal, Wesley Harding, Ethan Pinnock, Ravel Morrison, Alvas Powell, Liam Moore, Kemar Roof, O'Neill Fisher, Corey Burke, Bobby Reed, Shamar Nicholson, Junior Fleming, Dylan Barnes, Javane Brown, Blair Turgot, Daniel Johnson, Mikel Antonio, Lamar Walker, Adrian Mariappa, Kemar Lawrence, Tyreek McGee, Devon Williams, and last but not least, Dennis Taylor. All right, so those are the 23 names that were outlined for the game against Panama. And if we pay close attention to that list, we'll realize that one Damian Lowe will not be featuring in that game. I know he's been a mainstay in the Reggae Boyz setup for the longest while, and since he broke into the team, really, he's cemented himself as one of the nation's best defenders, and he's a leader in the fray, really, leading the team through thick and thin. And I think it's understandable, because the reasoning behind the omission of these players is that they need to come back fresh for the game against Costa Rica, which we know will be played maybe 3 days after. So again, the schedule is quite hectic, and it can play a toll on their bodies. These are professional players, they're playing games every week, but we also need to bear in mind that CONCACAF football is different from what the level of football that some of these guys are playing in their domestic leagues. So although it is understandable, I think Theodore Whitmore will come under quite a lot of stick should things not work out the way we're expecting it. I personally think the Reggae Boyz, they should be fine without the names I lamented. My only concern is Daniel Johnson playing out of position again. We saw Theodore Whitmore playing him out of position for the longest while, really, playing him in that number 6 role where we know he enjoys being a little bit further up the pitch. I think with the absence of Anthony Grant, who had a remarkable debut, by the way, against Mexico, I think in a game where most of the Jamaican players were below par, he was a bright light in that team, and it was good to see that someone who was making their debut for the national team gave such a commanding performance, really. And I was really expecting him to be in a midfield with Ravel Morrison. Okay, so again, as I said, these are the names that are absent. We have Peter Lee Vassell, we have Javon East, we have Anthony Grant, as I lamented before. We also have the one and only Damian Lowe. There are a few more names there that, let me see if I can pull them up. Let me see if I can pull them up. Yep, there's Richard King, there's Ricardo Morris. Ricardo Morris plays for Portmore United, Romario Williams, and Norman Campbell. Norman Campbell was also a debutant in that game against Mexico. I think his performance was left wanting on the day, but again, he's still young, probably a bit of jitters, a bit of nerves as well, playing the toll on him. But as I said, folks, these guys will be absent from the game. I still think the Reggae Boyz, they should have it covered, but I also think I would have preferred if we went all out for this one. I know he's thinking about the game ahead, considering 9 of these 23 players that I outlined before will not be available for the game against Costa Rica because they ply their trade in the UK, and we know what the situation is when it comes down to the UK-based players and go into these red zone areas. So the UK-based players, they won't be able to travel to Costa Rica. As we saw, they didn't travel to Mexico. Jamaica lost that game. They'll be looking to get their first set of points for the Reggae Boyz on the sheet right now against Panama. I think it's really a 3-point game. I don't think 1 point will do any at all. The fans, they're angry that the game against Mexico ended the way it did. Personally, I didn't see it coming out any other way. I think the fans got a little bit ahead of themselves because we got to the 88th minute with the score at 1-1. But we should also consider that we were fortunate to get on the score sheet as well. But getting back to the game against Panama, I think the names that Theodore Whitmore has at his disposal for that game, especially in defense, there is Ethan Pinnock, there is Liam Moore, there is Mariappa. All these guys, they're more than capable of getting the job done in the absence of one Damian Lowe. All right, I think in midfield he will try and do something makeshift again. As I said, the Daniel Johnson situation is what concerns me, because I think the further up the pitch he is, the more freedom he gets, and the more he's able to express himself. We know he's a fantastic footballer. He may not be the best defensive midfielder, but Theodore Whitmore has used him in that position for the last few games. And sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't go so well. And we just have to take it with a grain of salt. But again, the game against Panama, it's a winnable game with the names we have. Although some of the guys won't be there, I think we have a top quality roster that can be competitive. The Panamanians, they'll be coming at the National Stadium trying to win that game, but if they see that they can't win it, they'll try and settle for a draw. And I think our attacking talent that we have in the squad that I just named, it should be fine. We should be able to take care of business on the day. Corey Burke, he's in the squad as well. As I said, Javon East, he will not play in the game against Panama because apparently he's been rested as well. But we have to again, it calls into question the reason, because Javon East only played a few minutes in the game against Mexico. Corey Burke, he played majority of that game, and he's in the squad against Panama. So I know Theodore Whitmore wasn't able to rest all the players, but I think he was strategic in the names that he decided to rest, because he still wants a competitive squad to go to Costa Rica to see if we can get a result there as well. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I won't take up too much of your time. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Was it the right decision to leave these players out of the squad? Can the Reggae Boyz be competitive or even defensively sturdy without Damian Lowe at the heart of defense? Will we ever see Jamaica's best 11 on the field at any time at all? All right, we know we've had some big names over the years. Even in this roster, we have some fantastic names. I've said it before. I said it in a preview to the game against Panama that Mikel Antonio is the hottest property across Europe right now. But will we see him in a starting 11 with all of Jamaica's top talents? Leon Bailey isn't available for the game. Damian Lowe isn't available for the game. I think both of them, they make it into the best 11. Also, Anthony Grant, I think he can make a claim for himself to be that defensive midfielder that we've been wanting for the longest while. So again, these three players not being able to play, for the game against Panama, it means Jamaica is still yet to field their best 11 in these World Cup qualifiers. And when we'll see it is the big question that everyone is asking. We may never see it, but I sure hope it is sooner rather than later. I am hoping and I'm praying that I get to see our best assembly of players on the field sometime soon, because we'll need them, especially in big games against the United States and even Canada. Again, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. Naranda Brown here saying, let's go Reggae Boys, let's get these 3 points in the bag. Like, share, subscribe. Peace out. Until next time.